Hi guys and girls, and welcome to another Asus Google Nexus 7 video. In this video I'm going to look at the concept of using a case for the Google Nexus. I recently purchased this case for the Google Nexus 7, which I'm going to review as a case by itself, but also look at the general concept of using a case for your Google Nexus 7 in a whole. So let's take a look at this case to begin with. First of all, the case in question that I purchased, I believe, is a generic case. It doesn't have any official name or branding on the product. I went to Amazon and simply saw the one with the best reviews and purchased it. And it happened to be this 7-inch tablet case, black carbon fibre print, prop-up, which also came with a Pro Stylus pen as well, and that was kind of the final selling point for me. So let's have a look at the case itself. As you can see, it has this carbon fibre effect on it. Obviously it's not carbon fibre, that would make it very expensive. But the quality feels fairly average and okay to me. It opens up, as you can see, into a book form. One thing to note is that it has magnets here, so that when you close it, it clicks together. And there'll be more on that feature later. And then it has holes for obviously the camera, and then for the connector down here, volume buttons, and so on. And on the back side it has a little latch here, so you can put the flap into here and turn it into a stand, and we'll investigate that a little bit later. One more thing to show you is just that there's a bit of Velcro here to sort of put this flap in so that the tablet's locked in securely and firmly. And finally, as said, it came with a free Stylus pen. So we have a Stylus end here, but it is actually also a pen, so I could use it to write. So let's have a look at how it works inside the actual Nexus 7. So the Nexus 7 is now inside the carry case, and I have to say that it looks absolutely fine, very nice actually. You can see that the Nexus 7 is inside, and putting it in wasn't too hard, and it's very secure and firm, and obviously it's going to be nice and safe and secure in there. As I open it up, watch this. As you can see, the Nexus 7 turned on without me having to touch anything. It's because of this kind of metal magnets here, which connects it, and it must have a kind of a smart technology which turns it on and off. I'll just do that again. So take it off, and then it turns on, and then if you see, I'll try and close it, and then it turns off at that point, and then open it up again, and it should turn on, which it does. As you can see, it fits nice and securely. This flap does help it stay in firmly, and the coverings are quite well. It obviously covers around the camera just fine. The connector is easily available, as well as the microphone. The one problem I would say with getting to buttons is because this the Nexus 7 is kind of ridged and curves away, you're kind of a bit hampered by getting your fingers in here to use the power button and the volume button, so there is a bit of a minus point there. I'll put the flap in the back now and show you how it works as a stand. So there we are. That's standing on a horizontal fashion, and it more or less works fine. Let's just see if I can get in. Yeah, everything works fine from that point of view. And then we will also put it in a horizontal stand for if you were perhaps wanting to watch a movie. Let's see if it holds it in place. I'm having to just fold it over a little bit. But yeah, it holds itself perfectly fine in that way as well. So it's passing all the basic tests here of a carry case. Now we will bring the Stylus pen into action. Let's see how this works. And I must say, I thought I wouldn't use the Stylus pen at all, but it actually has a nice feeling when you're pressing the pad. It has a nice glide feeling. There's a lot less resistance between the screen and the stylus as opposed to your finger, where it can just, because of obviously perhaps little bits of sweat on your finger and moisture, it just gets a little bit trapped in there. But in terms of using it as a stylus, yes, it's very good. Scrolling is very nice. Of course, typing would be a bit of a slow job because I'm only able to use one finger, but as you can see, I am being able to use this fairly well. So it's something that I might use if I wanted to. However, the one massive drawback is that I think this pen came as an additional extra, not part of a package, and there is a huge problem here in that where on earth do I actually put my pen in the carry case? there is, strictly speaking, nowhere to keep it. I could give this flap a little bit of flex and try and slot it in here. I'd obviously have to undo it a little bit, but when I do that, it kind of bulges out here on this edge. I could put it down here, but again, that's not really what it's designed to do. It does fit there, but unfortunately now my fingers are blocked from the volume button. So the pen really doesn't have a place to live in this case. So that's a couple of drawbacks on the case. In general, the case is fine. However, what we're going to move on to now is my general opinion on these types of cases which you always use with a Nexus 7. There are numerous drawbacks to having a carry case which is always taking control of the Nexus 7. First of all, where does this flappy thing really sit? Obviously you could read it as a book, but then it kind of feels a bit weird holding something which essentially doesn't do anything. If you put it to the back of the case, what you'll notice is that this bit isn't fixed anywhere. Perhaps it would be nice if there were two magnets holding it in here. And so when it slips, if you hold it, the weight of the tablet just drops down a bit, and as you can see, this back flap tends to slip up, and it just feels a little bit awkward and uncomfortable. The next drawback, of course, is that the Nexus, in its form and function, is very light, very mobile, very agile. But unfortunately, putting on this carry case, first of all, makes it more heavy. Again, the case is fairly light, but it is adding 30 to 40% to the weight of the entire device, which is significant. And just look at how much fatter the whole device is. I would say that the Nexus has increased in thinness here by double its size, which really just renders it more like a large laptop, and it just doesn't feel as nice to hold in your hands and so on. However, perhaps the biggest drawback is it actually dents the functionality of the tablet itself when you try and use it. For example, I mean, notifications are on the top here, and you get notifications by dragging down with your finger. The most common way and easiest way and comfortable way to do it is to drag your finger from off the screen onto it. But of course, this border of casing prevents you from doing that, so it's not as easy. You can still do it, but as you can see there, I didn't do it the first time, it did work the second time. So in terms of apps that include something where you bring your finger from off the screen, it makes it much harder. I can't drag it off from off the screen, basically. I've got to put my finger on top of the screen and then drag it down, and it just doesn't feel as instinctive and as comfortable. Same thing with the Dolphin browser that I'm using here. You can drag your finger in from off the side to bring in bookmarks, but it doesn't always work. Again, I'm dragging it in and it doesn't work, so I have to lodge my finger in between and then do it. So that is the main problem with cases which are always fitted to the Nexus 7. So I'm going to sell this case, and I'm going to basically buy a simple sleeve which I can take the Nexus out of whenever I want to use it. Yes, of course, it makes the device a little bit more vulnerable, but that's really your responsibility. So those are my opinions on this particular case and cases in general for the Nexus 7. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you again soon in another video.